Hi, everyone. This is Gary Wilson, and welcome to this week's live Path to Prosperity webinar. Welcome aboard all the students, veterans, and you alike. We got one of the most senior students on, Cedric Farrell. Good to see you, buddy. And one of the newer students, Helen. Good to see you again, too, by the way. Finished all the banana bread. Didn't last that long. And I got the containers, too. Let me know if how I can get those to you. And the butter was awesome, by the way, too. So thank you very much. Also, welcome if you're in the program, turning, rental profits without the pain. We've got some new students there. Many of you, of course, in the Investor Agent Training Program. Welcome aboard, one and all. What we're going to do tonight is go over content marketing. So back around late June, early July, we started on some social media marketing techniques. And I really didn't get into all of it. I just gave you what I would consider the main things to work on. Obviously, YouTube is one of them, Facebook. And by the way, just a quick caveat here. This doesn't mean you have to do all of this. I'm just giving you options to traditional marketing, which is mainly what we teach because it works. Okay, traditional marketing, direct response targeted marketing, guys, it never goes out of style. It never does not work. It always works. Okay. What happens is, just like in any industry, any walk of life, innovations, there's disruptors, things like that come into the marketplace, and very rarely does it completely disable any existing technology or methods. It just adds on to it. Look at transportation. I mean, 150 years ago, we're all riding horses. Some of us were riding trains. The automobile came along. We thought that's the end of the horse. It just didn't happen. Mass transportation, buses, things like that, airplanes. All it did is it added more capability to what we were already doing. Same thing in real estate. Whether you're buying or selling real estate for yourself, or you're helping your clients buy and sell real estate. Thank goodness for innovation, because we keep adding in onto what we already have available to us. So in any case, before I jump into a lot of content, though. Just a quick reminder, little housekeeping. You're definitely on mute mode by default. You can use your chat box. Please use the chat box to type in questions, particularly for a subject like tonight. Some of you may have done this stuff, and some of you may not. But the bottom line is, you've got to practice what we preach, and also let me know, give me feedback on things, right? So anyways, couple of things here. Housekeeping. Back to housekeeping. Then every day we do one of these, it's always usually a different day of the week every week. Always look the next day for the recording, okay? And in the recording email, you get lots of other information from Beverly, updates to the systems and platforms, scheduling updates, that's all in there. So please always look for the email and please read it. I know sometimes it looks like it's repetitive, but the content in there, like the links, those are all usually different links every week. So you might want to make sure you get that and take advantage of that. Hey, Toder, welcome aboard. Hey, Toder, I gave you a call today. I think we were 3:30. And your phone wouldn't let me leave a voicemail. I apologize. I was driving, so I couldn't text you. So hopefully I got the day and time right. But let me know, and obviously reschedule if you need to. So in any case, back to this. A lot of what I'm going to show you tonight is you already have available to you. You can go to myinvestmentservices.com and click on the members area and log into server level. And a lot of this stuff's out there. A lot of stuff I'm going to show you, okay? Also, there's things I've done myself, written white papers and articles and blogs that we make available to you that you can republish, okay? And get some hits on your website, things like that. So in any case, without further ado, content marketing. What content marketing is just like I just described, that you're providing content for your marketplace. Okay, it's generally a way for you to establish your credibility, basically establish your brand, attract new prospects, okay, and continually build and work on your database. And guys, that's something I can't emphasize enough. It doesn't matter if you're a real estate agent or not, but some of you are investors and you own a business. I mean, I know one of you an investor and you have a dental practice, okay? You definitely have to market in your dental practice. I mean, everybody who has a business has to market. So everything's applicable here. Even if you're an investor only, it really helps to build a network around you of people who are buyers and sellers, so that you have people to buy from, to sell to, and potentially a lead source for good tenants, okay, to rent your units if you're buying rental properties. So this is all very applicable. So content, again, could be articles. You're right. I've written many articles. Could be little mini books that you write. I've written several little mini books, ebooks, blogs. You can do podcasts. That's all considered content. Okay. Even if you do Facebook Live, it's recorded and people can replay it. That's essentially content. Twitter posts, Instagram, and I don't do all that stuff. LinkedIn. Obviously, if you want to work with professionals, you should definitely be on LinkedIn. Okay, all of that is considered content. So what I want you to consider, those, you should definitely have a plan. And here's what I want each of you to do right now, if you could please. Just write in your notes. Right, everybody should have a piece of paper and a pen or pencil, or a notepad and pen or pencil. Or if you want to type on your computer, that's great. But you want to absolutely have a plan, a content plan, and don't feel like you got to do everything. That's not. It's actually better to focus on one thing first, and maybe work your way up to 3 things, and then that's probably plenty. Okay, you don't have to do 100 different, create 100 different channels or work on 100 different channels for content marketing. Okay, I mean, heck, if you did a Facebook post every day of a recent article or a great property you saw, and you put it out there, I mean, that's pretty good. If you go look at a multi-unit building, for example, the fourplex, walk through the fourplex, recording, okay, and talking as you're going through, talking about the property, talking about the numbers. You get back to your house or apartment at the end of the day and you upload it to YouTube. You can even now, there's ways you can do it now where you can load it directly to YouTube as you're recording, okay? So in any case, have a plan and keep it simple. I can't tell you what's right for each one of you, but I can tell you this, the simpler the better, especially if you're just starting off. Just focus on one thing and focus on something that's maybe free, okay? So in your marketplace, obviously you have Facebook, you have friends and colleagues and coworkers and church members and family members all on Facebook. So take advantage of that and put the content out there to all the people who know you and like you already. It doesn't cost a thing, okay? So maybe that's one easy thing to do. Another one that's easy is YouTube. Create videos. I'll show you some samples of videos here in a little bit that I've done, and you can kind of copy the same format and structure, okay? Again, on YouTube, totally free, right? So there's 3 free things you can do to provide meaningful, relevant information related to real estate, and more importantly, provide maybe samples of properties, okay? So the third thing might be you should consider writing short articles for your local investor club, for your chamber of commerce, any publication. Generally, it all takes a little bit of your time, and what it does is it again establishes your credibility with the local investor groups, chamber of commerce. There's different, many different groups of people out there who would appreciate you writing an article that's relevant to them, okay? You can tie real estate back to everybody, guys. Remember, unless you're living in a tent or under a bridge, real estate is an important part of your life, either renting or owning a home somewhere, a house or apartment. So real estate is relevant to everybody, okay? So in any case, have a content plan. Now, once you determine the 3 things you're going to do, and again, if you're brand new, just pick one thing. You want to do what we call keyword research, and you can use a tool called SpyFu. I mean, there's different tools. By the way, SpyFu, S-P-Y-F-U, okay? You can see what your competitors are using for keywords and key phrases, all right? And all this has to do with a subject called SEO. I'm not going to get into SEO tonight. Don't worry about it right now. It's not going to be that important to you. Right now, what's important is you just make this a regular part of your day. Take 5 minutes every day and do a post, guys. That's all it takes, okay? Take 5 minutes and do a post. It's not that big of a thing. And I promise you over time, it'll help you establish yourself in the community, right? But keyword research is you're looking to see If you Google real estate in your area, just say, Concord, Mass real estate news, all right? See what other people are posting out there, and particularly pay attention to the ones in ranked on the first page. They show up on the first page of results. You can use SpyFu on those to see what keywords and key phrases they're using. And yes, you can basically, we call it swipe and deploy, S&D, swipe and deploy, S&D. No reason you can't, right? Nobody has any rights to those. You can use them just like they can. You want to intermingle your own keywords reflecting you, for example, your name, your company name, your team name, things like that. But in any case, secondary to having a plan is to do some keyword research. And what you do is when you provide content, make sure those keywords are in that content, okay? So, all right, now, I mentioned having a plan. You should obviously have some goals. What are the goals for you for providing content? What are you providing content for? What's the end game you're looking for, okay? And there's all kinds of different content. I mean, guys, I got to tell you, there were years where I probably put a YouTube post out there almost every single day of me going through a local investment property. Sometimes they were my own, sometimes they weren't. Sometimes they were ones that were for sale, okay? And I was doing it for other clients. What happened is I started doing that. Actually, that's what I did. I would go through and film a property walking through it for clients looking for, say, a 9-unit building. This is a real example, by the way. I ended up buying the property myself. But in any case, so I walk through all the units, describing the income expense of the property, what I would consider to be deferred maintenance, the number of vacancies, and anything I saw that looked like management issues. And at the end of the day, now this was back in the old days, I'd go home back to my house, go to my office, load that thing on the computer, boom, load it up to YouTube. That's what I did. And then send that link to the clients looking for properties between 5 and 20 units. Okay, it was a great way for me to drum up some business in those early years. I didn't have a lot of listings, so I'd go look through other people's listings, walk through them, record them, and put them out there. Okay, and I'd get them sold. This one just happened to be one I bought myself. Okay, so in any case, in there, I would, and in the description, by the way, YouTube description, I would put in keywords that I knew were hot keywords for the area. All right, multi-unit, rental, cash flow, real estate, and then I would, of course, put in my name in there, periodically, the name of my brokerage company. So in any case, you definitely got to have goals, right? Now, as far as what you're looking to establish, there's 3 key components to your brand. That's people who want to feel like they know you, trust you, and like you. The main thing is just be yourself. Don't try to impress anybody, just be yourself. What's going to be impressive is you providing them valuable content. In this case, samples of properties. It's just one example of content is samples of properties, okay? I know a lot of you have heard me mention that in classrooms when I teach classes. We create booklets for prospects, is we load them full of examples of properties. You can never go wrong with that. I mean, that's what people want. People want an interest in investing. They need to see examples of properties to invest in. They could be sold properties. They could be under contract. They could be active. The point is provide samples of properties, okay? It's one form of content. Writing articles, again, I mentioned this early on, is a really good idea. What I would do is this. If I was to write a new article, I would look out there right now at Google real estate news at the national level, state level, local level, and look for a consistency in what's getting attention, what's popping up on the first page of results. And I would write my own interpretation of those events, okay? I would provide my own article. And I probably wasn't even the best writer in the world. Probably was far from the best writer in the world. But the point is I would make it pertinent and relevant to my prospects, okay? Here's what's happening on national level, state level, local level, whatever. Here's what this means to you. Like bring it down from broad to narrow. And if I had an example, I'd even put that in the article too. So our article is an example of content that you can provide. So blogs is another one, by the way. And an article and a blog are almost synonymous, right? So the difference is an article is something you might be writing for a publication or another entity like your Chamber of Commerce, and a blog is something you're doing yourself. So if you go to Here, I'll just show you. Hang on one second. I'm going to go to myinvestmentservices.com. And you'll see up top here, My Investment Services, we've got blogs and we got podcasts, okay? And if you look in blogs, this is all using WordPress, by the way. Easy, anybody can do it. Strategies for whole life success, okay? So you click on that heading there, and it brings up the page, one unique page just for that blog. And you can actually, oops, hang on one second, guys. I just realized you can't see this. So give me 1 second. Share. So where was I? Here we are. Strategies for whole life success. So now you can see this. You can actually copy that link and then for this blog, and you can post it on Facebook. You can put it in Twitter. You can put it on LinkedIn, okay? So here's the point I'm trying to make here is when you create content, you got multiple channels to promote the content on. This is just a real easy example, okay? Some of you might resonate with this, by the way, okay? So in any case, that's a blog. If you go to podcast, okay, hang on 1 second. Let's see who's the latest one there. Devin Elder, good old text in there, doing a lot of big investing, raising funds from multiple investors doing joint ventures. In fact, if you're really looking to, if any of you have some cash or capital you want to deploy, look him up. There he is right there, Devin Elder. Okay, he's in my mastermind group and doing quite well, by the way. And I know a lot of people who invest with him. In any case, again, you click on this, okay, has its own unique link, page link, copy it, paste it, put it out there on multiple channels, and you've just, in one move, put yourself out there on 3 different channels at a minimum, okay? So articles, blogs, if you really have the gumption, you can actually write books like I learned to do over the years. My first several books were all about 150 pages. Then I wrote one last year that was about 500 and something pages. Okay, and I just wrote another one. It was actually the opposite. I went to about 65 pages, and but it's more of an expose. So I wrote a book called Real Estate Investing, The Truth Behind No Money Down, Real Estate Reality, The Truth Behind No Money Down Investing. And now I use that. As a matter of fact, that's what got me to Harvard. Me speaking at Harvard was that book, okay? And I gave it to the 130 doctors that were there. So in any case, now what's interesting is I know some of you are raising your eyebrows and I say, Gary, I can't write a book. I don't know how to, or I don't have that kind of time. Well, let me tell you, I didn't either. I just decided I'm just going to freaking do it. And let me tell you what I did is I went and got myself a place where I could be isolated for 3 months. This is several years ago, thinking it's going to take me that long to write the book. I had it done in a day, literally a day, okay? Now I know one person I'm helping write a book right now is one of the mastermind guys, Dan Levy, Virginia Beach. He's been working on it now for easily a half a year, but I helped him get started. If any of you have an interest in writing a book, just let me know. It's not that complicated. You can do the approach Dan's taking, which is more the long, hard way, but it's what's comfortable for him, or do what I did and just basically do a immerse yourself to a brain dump. Just take a Saturday or Sunday, go out to a cabin, go to get your room somewhere, find somewhere where you will be completely left alone, and start it. I promise you, once you get started, you'll get in the flow and it'll just come out naturally. In case books. And those books can also be turned into ebooks, okay? So if you go here, let's see, let's go to members area, okay? And I'm going to click into silver level. That's what many of you are most of you are silver level members, by the way, by default. So if you go here, there's ebooks. These are the easy, basic, free ones, okay? A lot of this stuff is content I just got from other sources. Like for those of you who are Keller Williams, a lot of this content is given to us for free to repurpose, okay? Those are free little ebooks, and you brand it to be your own. How about that for a big, easy tip? You can, right, all of you who are agents, just remember this. Go to your members area, myinvestmentservices.com. Of course, click on silver level, and on the left-hand side, scroll down to where it just says E-books, all right? And these are all ones you can basically just swipe and deploy and brand them to be your own, right? Now the one above that is Premier eBooks. Okay, these are actually the books I wrote. We just put them in electronic format. There's 5 original ones. Okay, 5 original ones, and again, I've since written 2 more, and they're both, all of them have electronic versions, just like the printed version. All right, now we also have brochures. Now I'm not real big on brochures, and there's a reason for that. Sorry, I'm wetting my whistle here. Brochures are good for some industries, okay? And they can be good for real estate. It's just we never had much success with them. So we focused our energy on the things that were bringing success, which is what I'm teaching you tonight. So brochures, quite frankly, you may think they're easier, but the reality is you've got to make them look really good. Basically, bifolds and trifolds. Trifolds work. Of all the brochures you can do, trifold is the best on back and front. Print it on back and front. And I wish I had some of my old original ones to give you, but I don't know if I'll see if I can find them. Of all the brochures I did, the trifold worked the best. Okay, you always give them meaningful content and give them something to do and give them a place to go, like a website link, for example. I'll talk more about that later. If I can find some old examples from my brokerage company, I'll send them to you. But in any case, brochures can also be e-brochures, right? Anything you do in the printed world can be cloned and put out there electronically too on the internet. Okay, case studies. So let's go here. Let me go back to the website. So hang on one second. I need to go. I don't know if I want to get back to the main site by doing this. Let me just see if I can. Okay, there we go. So if we go here, let's see. This was the main page. Let's go to the main page. I'll show you a case study. By the way, that's me speaking at Harvard, guys. How about that? Looks like I'm preaching, doesn't it? I actually was. You guys should click on that. Click on it and watch it. It's about 5 minutes long. Watch the video, guys. It's right there on the front page of My Investor Services. And if you're ever unclear about what we're doing, you'll be real clear after you watch that video. You'll know why we do this and why we want you to focus on these professionals. There was a room full of doctors, about 130 of them. Okay. In any case, here's a case study. All right. Dave Gambasini, student from the early days, and eventually went into commercial. You can see how he did a great job of taking his prospects and turning them into clients. Okay, that's what this is all about. So that's an example of a case study. That's an online version of a case study. There's another case study. People always ask, well, how did you do so many transactions without any help? Well, here's a case study written about that. So these are case studies. Okay, and please write this stuff down. I know it's easy to just watch the screen and all that, but just write little crib notes, guys, so that you can go back to this and pull these things out and use them yourself, okay? Now, we talked about, let's see, books, ebooks, case studies, brochures, manuals, newsletters. So let me show you the newsletter. Hang on one second. Let's go back to members area. I'm going to show you how easy this is. So log back into Silver, okay? And there's, we call it monthly profit booster. You can see it over here too, member newsletter, or click here, right? And I used to do these years ago, and they did help a lot. We just started doing this back, I think, I don't know how many, back in 2016, probably before that actually. But you click on, here's the August issue, all right? So again, newsletter, printed version, but also you can put it online. It's easy to do, all right? So let's see here, that was server level. There's a blog you can watch, blog you can listen to, or read, excuse me, podcast you can listen to, get some free coaching. Coaching is different than training, obviously. All right, here's a great podcast on dentists who invest, okay? Those are all the people that joined last month. Some human interest articles, Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. Go camping, the monthly quiz question. I always wrap things up, though, by the way, Most of this, I actually either have a hand in directly or write the whole thing directly. And the one on traveling, I always do that myself because I'm constantly on the road. And this is a view of Cape Cod Bay. I was staying, let's see, that's, actually that doesn't look like that. That's not where I was staying. I don't know where they got the picture from. But in any case, I've been in New England. I'm here again, and I love it up here. And next month, I got a surprise because I'm writing about my family reunion in the next September newsletter. But here, in any case, always put something in your newsletter of human interest: travel, recipes, diet, exercise. Don't make it all about real estate. Give them tease people's brains, give them something to do, like a quiz, answer a quiz question, read something historical. But in any case, we did a special on newsletters back probably, I'm going to guess that was January of 2018. If you guys want, we can do it again. We can do a special webinar just on newsletters to show you how easy it is, okay? I'll give you a big hint. I don't create the format, I'll buy the format, and all I do is fill in the gaps, and you should do the same thing. It'll save you a ton of time. In fact, if I formatted it on my own, it'd look horrible, right? So in any case, newsletters, manuals, little quick manuals on how to actually do something, or white papers. Here, let me show you an example of a white paper. Hang on one second. Oh, there's a couple of them. Okay, so here's a white paper. Who was I talking to? One of you was asking me about hiring a virtual assistant. Well, here's a white paper I did on hiring virtual assistants, okay? It's available to you on the My Investment Services website. I go into great detail, how you hire them, how you screen them, how you hire them, how you pay them. It's all in there. It's a white paper. Well, again, you can create a white paper and publish it, okay? It's one example on hire virtual assistants. Here's another one on working with foreign investors. Many of you are working with foreign. In fact, I'd be shocked if not every one of you at some point did not start working with a foreign investor, okay? So it's a white paper on working with foreign investors. All these things are housed for you to use, to learn for yourself, and to share with your clients. All this stuff, guys. Well, actually, quick pause here. Everything that I'm showing you, we do make available to you, not just for yourselves, to learn yourselves and to use yourselves, but to share with your clients. Share this stuff with your clients. Just this white paper here on working with foreign investors was actually written for your foreign investors. It wasn't written for you specifically. It was written for you to give to your foreign investors. A lot of them want to know, can they invest here? How do they invest here? What are some of the basic rules? Well, this is going to get you a good head start, okay? So white paper. Let's see. Well, here's an interesting article I wrote one time. Special report. We call them special reports. 7 biggest problems with real estate investors and agents, okay? Path to self-discovery, exploiting the myths while building massive wealth and income. Let's see. It's probably all of about 3 pages. 1, 2, 3, a little more than 3 pages, okay? Great little special report. Here's another one. 7 reasons why investors should get the real estate license, okay? There's another one I wrote called 7 reasons why real estate agents should work with investors. You notice how the number 7 comes up a lot, right? Also, here's number 10, and profit tenfold on how much not having it cost you. So in any case, let's go back here. 1, 2, there's the 3 pager there. 3 pages, that's it, special report, okay? So special reports, we talked about podcasts already. Well, here's one. How about slides? Most of you have Microsoft Office, or you have some way to create a slideshow. Again, not that difficult. Here, I'll show you. Let me go here. Let me go here. And okay, this is a class I'm going to be teaching in Louisville on September 4th on property management. It's an old version of PowerPoint, but I just want to show it to you because the good news is a lot of the slides you already have formats to choose from, okay? I don't know why this is taking so long to load. Hang on just a second, guys. Well, maybe I should load another one. Actually, let me close that out, bring up this one. This is a newer version of PowerPoint. Here we go. These slides here I'll just pull this up. Let me make sure I do a screen share on this. Hang on one second. Where's my, okay, let me share this screen. There. All right, this slide here, guys, this bar going across the top with the text box and the video here, excuse me, the pic here, that's just a basic format. I just copied, it basically is copy they give you all of these templates and you use the template that looks good to you and you want to use, and that's all you do. And you got to provide the picture, so you get a picture online that if you either pay for it if you have to, or free if it's free, and insert the picture. It's insert image. Here, I'll show you. Insert picture. You click on that and you grab a picture off your computer and it plugs it in here. That's all it is. In the text box here, you just type in the text box. You just, one slide technically is a slideshow. I mean, you should have a handful of them, but in any case, you can provide a slideshow of what? Well, how about a property, right? You can take a slideshow of a property, so you can put in there pictures of the property and then intersperse it with some data, right? Information on the income, information on the expenses, things like that. You can also put videos in there, right? Here's one of my favorite videos. I'm not going to play it for you, but we call it the Eagle video. This will, watch this video. In fact, if Beverly, she's going to watch this replay. Beverly, remind me, let's get everybody the video of this this Eagle story. It's an awesome, awesome story. In any case, back to what I'm describing. Slideshows are easy to email to your clients once you create them. So you create the slideshow, send the slideshow in your email to your clients or prospects, okay? By the way, quick pause here. Let me check the chat box and see how we're doing. Hang on one second. Chat, oh, we do have some chats, okay. This is from Lewis, everybody, keywords everywhere. You guys, Lewis is right. So to use that tool, SpyFu, there's other tools I'll give you here by the time, before we're done tonight, okay? Thank you, Lewis, for, let's see now. Now, can you guys see my screen now? I hope I did screen share on the ones I was showing you. I apologize. One was just 3 minutes ago. So let me know if you can see my screen now, guys, okay? If you can type it in. Okay, thank you very much. I apologize. I'm still getting used to Zoom. We used GoToWebinar for like 4 years. We switched to Zoom because GoToWebinar was having some bandwidth issues. Great tool, awesome tool, but that just, they couldn't just handle all the people that we had and the things we were doing. But Zoom, unfortunately, is a little more manually intensive, okay? So anyways, back to this. All right, slides, podcasts. We talked about white papers. We talked about video. Let me show you some samples of video. Hang on one second here. Okay. So let's go to, reduce that. I'm going to get rid of the newsletter here. Okay, now. Oh. Let's see, what am I doing? Let me go back here. Shouldn't have got rid of that last one. Zoom. Need to move this box over here. Oh, here we go. That's good. Let's just open up a new one. All right. Okay, let's type in, let's see, YouTube. I don't want to do KW YouTube. I want to do my own YouTube. YouTube, my investment services. Okay. For now, now, by the way, I'm not going to go into like how you actually create a YouTube channel because we did that last month. But what I want to show you is you can create your own channel and upload these. Click on this button here. So you create a video or post and put a video up there. This is a interview. I was interviewed by Dr. Karen Perkins. 2.5 years ago. And she's famous, at least out on the West Coast. And I was out there, happened to be attending a conference, and she saw me and asked me to do an interview. And I said, great, I'll be glad to do it. And I actually had a bad cold. If you listen to my voice, it's horrible. I'm not going to let you listen to it, but it's one of my old jackets here. But in any case, YouTube videos, guys, don't just do videos on properties. Let people see you. I mean, there's all kinds of, look at these guys. Anybody can do this, all right? Some of these guys you actually know. It's interesting. I don't know that rabbi, but here's what I'm getting at. Look at these guys. Anybody can do a YouTube video. Doesn't matter who you are, or where you are, or what you're doing. People, remember, we are our own worst critics. I don't like seeing myself in pictures or video at all. Okay, matter of fact, I should probably make sure you can see this, since I'd probably just told you I was gonna. Where's my share button? It looks like, okay, you share, hang on 1 second. I think you can see it already. Back to what I was saying, I don't like seeing myself in videos or pictures at all. I just don't think they look great. I don't think they look good at all, quite frankly. But what's interesting is other people don't see it that way. People want to see you. Just believe me, people want to see you. So don't let them see just the properties, let them see you too. And don't worry about what you look like, because chances are people already like you, okay? You already got friends and family that already like you. And you make them happy and you brighten their life, so let them see you on video too, okay? So in any case, so let's move forward here. Workbooks. Okay, let's go back to my investment services. Hang on 1 second. And most of you already have this workbook anyways. We got multiple versions of these. So let me go to members area again, click on silver level. All right, and we're going to marketing techniques and docs. I keep doing this because repetition is the mother of learning. I want to get you guys used to using these tools that are available to you. Use my investment services, use the community site, whether you're investing or you're an agent or both. I mean, there's tons of stuff out here. The recordings, there's over somewhere between 250 and 300 recordings out there. In any case, here's the booklet. Okay, you can do some really neat things with this. Okay, hang on 1 second. Let me just bring it up here. Let me do a screen share on this. I'm going to probably have to close out some of these screens I'm sharing here because I've probably got too much. Okay, so here's the infamous booklet. Okay, where I give them the cover page, a picture of the area whatever area I'm working in. Okay. Give them an introductory letter, give them an example. This is basically, you can call this an article. I'm done with the stock market. Should I buy a duplex instead? It's basically writing an article or giving them a case study. You can call this a case study too. Sometimes they're interchangeable, right? Then I give them lots of samples of properties. Actually, I tell you what, keep the samples of properties to 6. That's what we found out. 6 is the magic number. 6 different properties, some active, some sold, some pending, okay? Then I give them an example of a spreadsheet for analysis purposes, okay? Then I do wrap things up here with some testimonials and a final pitch, and that's pretty much it. And here's the beautiful thing about workbooks. Again, another example is something that you do in printed form first and send it to your local dentist, for example, but also you can send it electronically to the people in your database. Now, real quick pause here. I know I just said send it to the people in your database, but I will caution you to not send it to everybody, okay? Only send it to those people in your database who you believe are most likely to want to or need to invest, okay? Really, really important. And if any of you have not gone through your database recently using the methods I taught you, please do so. It's one of the most important things you can possibly do is to every year clean your database and go through. And by the way, there's maintenance, building and maintaining your database. Building requires you to daily be conscious of who you're meeting that day, either people you already know or people you're meeting for the first time, and add them to your database, every single person. I've been doing this for a lot of years. when I first started my database for real estate brokerage purposes in January 2002, I had a whopping like 20 something people. My database is now at over 70,000 people because the technique that I teach you, I use myself. I do it every single day. Okay. So in any case, so what I'm getting at is you can segment your database and only send this booklet to people who are more likely to want to invest in rental properties, for example. In this case, it's a rental booklet. If I had a flipping booklet, I would send it to people I believe are only interested in buying doing flips, okay? And anybody who's neither, I would not even ever send them the booklet, okay? I don't want to have them go cold on me. So in any case, booklets are a great tool you can use. And if you give them, if you're doing workshops here, guys, workshops is where you're live in front of people every month. Bring in samples of worksheets, okay? You can bring in your workbook, you can bring in your booklet and samples of worksheets and essentially have what we call a workbook. And have the people in your room practice using the worksheets with the properties in your booklet. It's an awesome way to get them engaged with you, taking action, and you've got yourself some clients here, okay? But again, you're creating one thing that can be used multiple ways, at least 3 different ways. The booklet can be used at least 3 different ways. Okay, now, let me just skip through here because I'm not going to go through this next section on writing. Writing itself is an entirely new subject, and we would never be able to, that's an entire discipline all by itself. And I do my own writing, but I hire a professional editor and publisher. And the student I'm helping write his first book right now, Dan Levy, I first introduced him to Demi, who gave him the structure, and then I've been coaching him through the content. So in any case, a couple tips and pointers here. We're going to wrap this up here in about 10 minutes. So a couple of tips and pointers. Number one is keep it fresh. If you're going to do it right, and at a minimum, do it once a week. In fact, I'm going to challenge you to, in the next week, today's Monday, by the time we meet next week, which will be next Monday, and Louis Reset, by the way, is doing next week's webinar. We're going to be on together. He's going to show us some pretty neat websites and online tools we use up in Canada, okay? So in any case, I would challenge you so that next week you created your first piece of content. I don't even care if it's just a Facebook post. Okay, copy me on it, send it to me, right? Do a YouTube video, write a short article, do Facebook Live, whatever you do, please do it and send it to me, okay? I'll be glad to read it with you. All right, so keep it fresh. I wrote SEO, but guys, right now, don't worry about SEO. Just remember this, keywords. Research the keywords and put those keywords in your writing, and essentially you've accomplished the main thing of SEO. SEO means search engine optimization. Your website, by the way, all of you, if you're an agent, you already have a website given to you for free. You can go in there in edit mode and put in keywords and key phrases in your website description, your title page, all that stuff, you can put those in there. So if your website has your keywords and your articles have your keywords and your YouTube description has your keywords and your Facebook post has your keywords, you've essentially started achieving SEO, which is search engine optimization, okay? That's the Gary Wilson simplified version. So in any case, don't be afraid to go to trade shows. You don't have to go to the big national ones. Go to the local ones. Again, join your local chamber of commerce. Join your local BNI or create a BNI, Business International Network, okay? Business Network International, excuse me. If you don't see a BNI you'd like to join in your area or they're already full, create your own. Easy to do. Create your own little group, okay? You meet once a week in the morning or something, But be a joiner, join groups or create your own group. Trade shows, again, your local apartment association will have a trade show every year. Every group has an annual meeting, like again, your Chamber of Commerce. Okay, let's see here. I want to make sure I get to the some other key important stuff I want to give you. Okay, I'm not going to talk about links right now. I wrote this in my notes, but basically we're talking about is link backs and things like that. Just know this, if you write articles, other people will likely grab them and put them and send them to their people on their website, and then they link back to your site where your article is. That's called a link back, okay? Do it the natural way. Don't try to, you're going to Google this, I'm sure, and you're going to find out there's all kinds of tricks and things like that. Don't do the tricks. Just do it the right way. Create content, send it out, let those people share it, and those links coming back to you will create what Google recognizes as link backs, okay? Now, real quick, here's what we're going to get to is testing, okay? In order to really ensure that what you're doing is working, you do have to test it. And you should test it on a small scale. You can do what's called split testing or A/B testing. So let's say you're writing an article and you're not sure if you should appeal to flippers or landlords buying rentals. Write the same article for both groups. Okay, you have to change the wording a little bit, of course, and change the title. Send it out using the same media, again, Facebook, whatever you're doing, Twitter, LinkedIn, email, and measure the responses you get. And if you get more responses for the one having to do with rentals, then go with the rental guys and keep doing that. If you're getting more responses from the flippers, then spend more time on the flippers, okay, because they're telling you. But you basically want to test whatever it is you're doing. Printed matter is easy because you can send out one letter to one batch of people worded a certain way, sending it the same letter to another group of people written a different way, and then you switch the groups the next month, and Group A gets the letter that Group B got the first time, and Group B gets the letter Group A got the first time, and you measure the results again. You're looking for consistency or patterns, and you always go with the one that has the best numbers. Testing doesn't take that. A lot of people say, I don't want to test because it takes too much time. I don't have time for that. Well, I will tell you this. Testing is going to save you time. When you test this stuff, then you only focus your time, energy, and money on that which works. The reason why a lot of people fail at marketing is they try one thing one time and they give up because they didn't get the results they wanted. They think, oh, it doesn't work. It's not that it didn't work. You just didn't do it. You got to keep improving it, testing it, improving it, testing and improving it. And I promise you, all this leads to much bigger databases and much bigger conversion rates, okay? In fact, how many of you like to convert instead of 1 out of 100, 1 out of 10, or instead of 1 out of 10, convert 1 out of 5? Well, that's what this stuff does for you. That's what testing does for you. So in any case, testing is really important. Also, this also allows you to pre-screen your prospects, pre-select them, target them, pre-select them, and pre-screen them. Your marketing should actually be your first step of screening. And then when you interview them, it's a much easier job of interviewing them. Let's see here. What else surveys. Boy, this is important. Now I'm guilty. I haven't done a survey for quite some time, but we actually have a meeting on Thursday about doing a survey. Surveys are great, guys. You just have to don't make it too lengthy. Don't put in there 10 different questions because people are they're not going to do it. But give them 2 questions, okay? Maybe 3. That's all you do. If you want to do just 1 question, you'll get a much higher response rate. But what you can do is do a survey for the people you already know. Let's say you're going to do this on Facebook. Don't spend any money. Just post it so the people who are already your friends will see it, and do a one-page survey. Hey, have you ever thought about investing? Yes or no, whatever, something simple like that. The people who respond to you yes, you can then follow up with a meaningful article on investing. And then you could ask them, between flipping and rentals, which do you like better? And by the way, the article you send them should expose flipping and expose buying rentals. And then you send a second survey, which is which one do you like better, flipping or rentals. Now you know what they want to do, and you can start working with them in a more meaningful way. That right there, guys, that one technique we did, this was back in Tidewater, time and time again. I still own Hampton Roads Real Estate Guide from years back. I still own it because I thought, well, eventually I'll resurrect it. But that process I just showed you, quick 1-question survey, all the people when you on Facebook, yes or no, do you want to invest? The yes people, we then sent them an article talking about the pros and cons of flipping and buying rentals. And we sent a follow-up, by the way, which do you like better, flipping or renting? They would tell us. And then we started working with them, providing them examples of flips or examples of rentals, setting up appointments, getting them pre-qualified. awesome strategy. Okay. And by the way, once you do it with your group that you know for free, then you can start spending advertising dollars on Facebook, clone your audience. Okay. You can basically have Facebook copy, or it's called a lookalike audience, expand your reach to the whatever area you're in and attract more people that perhaps don't know you, but because you asked them a question first that's meaningful to them, they answered the question. Okay. So in any case, let me do a quick pause here because we're down to about where I'm going to start wrapping things up, and I've got to get back to the chat box. Let's see here. Let's see, use captions on all videos. This is Lou. You're right, Lewis. So on your, hey, what Lewis is talking about, guys, is on YouTube, on all videos, you want to make sure you put something descriptive in there, okay? Use your captions, particularly on YouTube, because your YouTube caption should have words in there that match your channel, your description for a YouTube channel. So if you're in your channel, you got descriptive keywords and key phrases in there, make sure you always grab at least one of them for your title. And also, by the way, in your description, make sure you repeat your name once in the beginning and once towards the end. Okay. All right. So here's a good question regarding testimonials in the booklets. What do you do if you've had no transactions? Hey, Jesse, the good answer, a good question. Here's the easy answer. You already know people. So what I would do is I create the booklet, send it to the people you know, and ask them to say, look, I'm being trained to work with investors. I'm going to be a certified investor agent. I've created this booklet to help investors see the inventory, see the tools, see the information. Would you please give me your 2 cents worth on this booklet? What do you think of this new booklet I created? And so Jesse, ask them to send you that to you in email. So you're going to send, before you print this, Jesse, always make sure you send me a copy. But send this out electronically to the people you know first, get their responses, and those are your testimonials. You're going to pick out the parts that are going to work for you. Most people will say, Jesse's a great person, hard worker, smart, all that, whatever. And this booklet's really going to help people do a good job investing. There's your testimonials. Okay, so do that first, and then when you start getting some paid clients, and you can get their testimonials too. Okay, so this is for Lewis. How would you respond to someone that wants MLS properties without having a phone conversation? They just want to use emails as communication. I've actually had that happen before, Lewis, but what I would do is work with them via email, maybe 3 rotations. But what you want to try to do is, because it might be difficult to get them into the office, see if you can get them to a property where you can meet them in person. Okay, and once you meet them in person, now that you can build rapport more easily, and at that point, set up an appointment. It might be over the phone. It might be, again, emails going back and forth. Well, you can then screen them and interview them more thoroughly, and because you're trying to get them qualified. So what I would do is this. Here's the logic, Lewis. Instead of trying to force them to come to where you are, is simply go to where they are and start there. Let them put their arm around yours, and then you gently walk them back to where you are, okay? So that's the logic behind that, but start where they are. If it's emails, it's emails. Provide them content, but always keep them engaged, Lewis. Always, for everybody listening and watching, don't ever send something out without asking a question or asking for a response. Feedback, response, or simply asking a direct question. That allows you to keep them engaged and keep the conversation going, because the only way you're ever going to get them to meet in person is to keep them engaged. So Lewis, try that and see if that doesn't help you. Great question, by the way. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see here. We talked about your headline, testimonials. I just said it. Always give them something to write this down. Always make an offer. Hey, great talking to you. Say, Lewis, say this is the person over the email. I have an article I have an article I've read that you may be interested in having to do with this subject. Would you like me to send it to you and let them respond to you, and you can send them article? If everybody out here watching and listening, use the stuff that we give you. You can repost the blogs, repost the podcast. You can share the YouTube videos. Share that stuff with your clients. If you go to the YouTube videos, I've got a bunch of content out there, guys, on flipping, buying rentals, wholesaling. It's all out there. Okay, use it. So always make them an offer and give them what's called a CTA, call to action, okay? So call to action is generally getting them to do something, go somewhere. In other words, call to action would be, hey, once you sent them their article, for example, or the special report, follow up and say, when they get back to you, say, great, here's something else you can see. Go click on my website here and download this tool, or download this calculator, or download this article. Give them a CT call to action. Means they've got to go off of the email or off wherever they are, off of Facebook, and onto your website. Okay, call to action, offer, call to action. Okay, that's how you never ever leave anything without giving them, keeping them engaged. Simply asking a question, offering something. And more importantly, once you've established rapport, is give them a call to action, okay? Let's see, we talked about testing, talked about split testing. Let's see. Oh, by the way, once you've written an article or two, if you guys want to share it with the group, bring it to one of the webinars, guys. Let's bring it up on the webinar. Let's share it with everybody. And let's get some feedback on a critique on it, because then what you can do is call some local publications and see if they would print your article, right? And remember, it's essentially, you can think of it as an ad, but you're not actively advertising or promoting, you're not asking for business. You're writing an article about something relevant and providing contact information, okay? You can be guests on other people's blogs. You can be guests on my podcast. If you got something to share from your either business related or investing related, I'd be glad to interview. Okay. Let's see. We talked about newsletters, talked about ebooks, but again, you can be guests on other people's media. Okay. Let's see. Magazines. Oh, press releases. I'm going to have Beverly send you the link for the company we use for press releases. You can do two versions, inexpensive and more expensive, but do press releases on your articles, okay? I think that's about it, guys. Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up, because I'm actually going to get on another one anyways, but I hope you guys like this stuff. So we're going to have Louis Reese on next week, guys. Be on for that. We're going to go over some cool research tools, some websites for real estate, finding out information on people and properties. All right. And in the meantime, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Okay. And good rest of the week. We will see you next week, next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. California. In the meantime, God bless you and your families. And let me know when you need anything. Okay. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.